You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please. That one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and today we have Leah Van Dale on the podcast, who is a total force. She is a former WWE superstar, a new mama, a stepmom, a businesswoman, and just an all-around badass. I know you probably know her in the ring as Carmella, but today she is here as herself, Leah Van Dale, and she is sharing her story from cheering in the NBA, the NFL, to getting in the ring, the highs and lows and heartbreaks of pro wrestling, to becoming an advocate for moms and launching her own wellness brand. So here is Leah. I always like to take things way back from before anybody was anybody and like figure out how you got to where you got to. So tell me, have you always been like, since you were little? I had Ashlyn Harris on yesterday, who's like a soccer all-star, and she said since she was little, she's been like a daredevil, a badass, jumping off here into sports, trying to prove herself. So have you always been active and athletic?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say.
Since you were like
Since
out
I
of the
was little.
womb.
Yes. I was
Yeah.
a dancer, started dancing when I was 3. I loved being in front of the camera when I was a kid.
Really?
I was so shy. I feel like I'm still pretty
You're shy?
But as a kid, I was painfully shy. But I felt like when there was a camera around, I was like, that's when I came out.
Oh,
Or
interesting.
like when I was dancing, I'd be on stage, and then that's when my personality would come out, and then get off stage, and I'd be like little mouse again.
I always think that about Carrie Underwood. So Carrie
Okay.
Underwood, I've met her a few times and she is really shy in person, but you see that woman on stage
Oh my God.
and she's just an absolute beast and talent and strong and confident and like her voice is so powerful. But it's interesting that that really is like me on stage. I'm the exact same person as me in my house by myself with my
Okay.
dogs. I'm just like, I'm consistently crazy and somewhat normal. And I am who I am. But that's so interesting to me when you have this alter ego.
For sure. I mean, and I spent 11 years in WWE. So
Right.
when people see my character on TV and then they meet me in person, they're like,
What
there's
was your
such a
character?
disconnect. So my name was Carmella.
Yes,
She's the
yes,
Princess of Staten Island.
Yes.
She's so like in your face, the moonwalking, trash talking, just she's a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess that's me a little bit, but like turned way up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not like that in real life.
Did you grow up in a household where like, because I always talk about how I grew up where my parents were like, let Kaitlyn be Kaitlyn. Were you like always free to
For
be
sure.
who
Yeah,
you
my
were?
parents were always so supportive, and they're so not surprised that I ended up in wrestling and in the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
Like,
because I
that's
mean,
just
you were also a Laker girl, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were you a cheerleader as well, like in NFL?
Yes, the Patriots.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What was that life like?
It was fun. I mean, it's funny because I have 2 stepdaughters now, and we watched the America's Sweethearts on Netflix,
Yeah.
and I get PTSD. I'm watching it, and
sure.
I'm like, oh my God.
It's like me trying to watch a Bachelorette. I can't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So
Yeah.
it's just like what you see on that. It was a lot. It's a big time commitment. I did it for 3 years, but I was also in college when I was doing it. So it was a great part-time job with a full-time commitment.
But a little bit like I always think of it's a mixture of intense, glamorous, miserable. I suffer from body dysmorphia, and where my body dysmorphia comes from is standing in a studio of dancers where we'd all just stand in a line and compare our bodies. And I'm sure that happened there too.
Oh, we had weigh-ins every single week. We'd have
No.
to get weighed in, and like some girls would be like stripping down to like their underwear because they were worried about the 1 pound that it might make.
What if they
a
were the 1
difference.
pound that
It-
made a difference?
I mean, when I was on Lakers, there were several girls who got cut because of their weight, which is
It's not like that anymore,
wild.
is it?
I hope not, but I look back and these girls looked amazing. So
Oh
it's
my
crazy to think
God.
that that's why that they got cut.
Do you think NFL or NBA is harder?
I mean, the NBA for the Lakers was a lot more competitive. There were
Yeah.
a lot more girls who
Really?
tried out. But I think NFL was harder because we cheered outside. I was in New England where like hail
That's
on our
crazy.
faces.
Yeah, because that weather is no joke.
It was awful, awful, awful.
So what drew you to that world? Just because you danced,
Just
you liked to
because I danced, and
perform, it
there's
was a
so many-
stage.
So much you can do as a dancer, beyond like your studio. Once you graduate high school, you can't really like do much with it. So it's either you go to Broadway, you
Yeah.
go in the NFL, the NBA, or you're like a backup dancer. Those are really
I mean,
only
that was
options.
literally my goal. I moved to Vancouver to be a dancer. I started cheerleading in the Canadian Football League. It was my dream to, like, go to the NFL, be a backup dancer, dance for, like, Janet
Right,
Jackson.
yeah, that
That
was,
was,
like,
like,
the goal for
the
sure.
dream. So how did that shape you into going into WWE? Because it sounds crazy, but it's actually not if you break it down
For
because
sure.
it's performing, it's, a dance in a sense,
Yeah.
it's choreography, it's a whole thing.
I never, ever in a million years thought I would be in WWE.
Really?
My dad was a wrestler growing up, and I watched it with him, but
Your dad was a wrestler? Who's
yes,
your dad?
he fought a lot of the big names, but he was kind of the guy they brought in to make everyone look good.
Oh, cool.
And so, like, but back then it was, like, bra and panty matches. I never wanted to do that.
A what? So you were in bra and panties?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
That was what was popular back then
Oh
in,
my
like, the
God,
90s when
really?
you watched that's what the women did. They didn't really wrestle, they just were eye candy.
Yeah.
So when the opportunity came for me, I think it was back in 2013, to have a tryout, I was like, "I don't know if this is what I wanna do,"
Yeah.
but they're like, "No, it's different now, it's not like that." So when I tried out, I made it, and then just the rest was history.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's really crazy because I know how I was just talking to Charlotte Flair
Oh, okay.
the other day in Nashville, and I'm like, the toll it takes on your body, the amount of training you have to do. I mean, you grew up dancing, so your muscle memory was there, but like, I just feel like at all, and you're being a second generation, she was too, of like a
Yeah.
wrestler. So did you feel pressure or were you kind of like, once you got in it, you were like, oh, I'm supposed to be here?
Well, for me, I didn't come from wrestling. I didn't like my dad was a wrestler, but again, very, very
Right.
small doses. Not
Yeah.
he wasn't Ric Flair, that's
Right.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean,
So
nobody's Ric Flair, but yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I knew I had a lot to prove because I didn't come from wrestling. I didn't a lot of people train on the independent circuit, which is kind of like the minor leagues before you get to
Yeah.
WWE. I never had any training. So I felt like I needed to come out of the gate with something that would set me apart. And so for me, it was more my character. I just
Oh.
relied a lot on my character being over the top and being able to talk on the microphone because I felt like if that was good and I had that going for me, then I wouldn't really matter so much about what I could do in the ring.
That's fair. I mean, characters are everything.
Yeah.
But people to this day still believe that that is really who you are. Like
Oh, for sure.
who you are in a ring, who you are as a WWE wrestler, your character, people believe is who you are. How do you separate or how do you explain to people that? Because people, and then you have the other side where people are like, it's not real. Like, how do you explain it?
It's just a crazy world, and until you're in it, it's so hard to explain to other people, but
Yeah.
it's like with anything on social media, people can attack you and people can say whatever, but I think the good part about it, the positive is they're attacking Carmella, which was my
Mhm.
character, they're not attacking me, they don't know who I
So
am,
you
right?
don't take it as
So, it's
personally.
not as personal,
Yeah.
but I think that sometimes people have a hard time differentiating, like, their character from who they are,
Yeah.
so I think it's hard for some people.
Yeah, I've heard from I know a few people in that industry who just yeah, they either totally can separate it or it's very hard for them to
Right.
separate, and it's almost like an identity crisis, which I feel like I would struggle with because when everyone knows you for your character and no one knows you for you, I almost, like, can't handle that thought because I want everybody to know me for me.
That's literally what I'm living right now. I
Yeah.
retired at the beginning of this year,
Yeah.
and I've been Carmella for 11 years. I did reality TV. I people knew me as Carmella, and it's like, who's Leah, right?
Right.
Who am I? Like, I feel like I know who I am, but I'm also kind of rediscovering and trying to figure out where I fit into the world, not
Yeah.
as Carmella. And it's trying to like almost reintroduce myself, like that I'm separating myself from WWE. I'm separating myself from the past 11 years of my life.
So if you are separated, who would you say Leah is now?
It's a great question.
Ah!
And in the midst of all of this, I became a mom
Yes.
and I'm pregnant again. And
Yeah.
it's like this
So you
huge identity shift and almost identity crisis and just trying to like not having the career I had,
Mhm.
becoming a mom, now being pregnant again. What is my life? What is my career?
Yeah.
Who am I? It's been a lot and I'm still trying to figure that out.
And that's okay. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 37.
You can still figure out who you are when you're in your 60s.
Right,
You
right.
know, like I was talking about this with some girls from Sports Illustrated of rebranding and re-identifying who you are. And like that can happen every few years.
For sure.
That can happen every year
Right.
as you change as a woman and you go through these different experiences and career changes and life changes. Like that, you don't have to always know
Totally.
This is my path. This is who I am, and this is who I'm gonna be. No, you don't have to.
It's such a warp, I feel like, especially because you're supposed to feel like you have it all figured out, and especially being in the public eye, it's hard, and you go through different seasons of life. And even if I still had the same career, I'm still going to change as a person. I need to figure out who I am and where I'm going. And I think everyone is kind of in that boat, whether you want to admit it or not. You know,
Yeah.
some people are just kind of acting like they have their shit together, but
Yeah, no one
don't.
has their shit together. Even the people who have their shit together don't
have
their
their shit
together.
Totally.
On paper, they might. Mentally, they might not. Mentally, they might. On paper, they might not.
Right.
Like, we're all so different, but nobody, I always tell that to people, because you might even have your shit together one day and
Oh, yeah.
life can crumble the next, you know?
Mhm.
This episode of Off the Vine is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. I never sound as cool as the guy who does it in the actual commercials. But here's the thing. I am particular when it comes to where I stay. I really am. I need a bathroom with good lighting, because if I can't see what I'm doing while getting ready, it's a disaster. I'm dramatic, okay? And it's a disaster. And I need a big, cozy bed that I can sprawl out on at the end of the night. It's a non-negotiable for me. And the good news is Booking.com has me totally covered. From vacation rentals to hotels across the U.S., they've got the perfect stay for anyone. Even the hardest to please people in your life, like your mom who wakes up at 5 a.m. and needs total silence, or maybe that friend who insists on only sleeping on 800 thread count sheets. That might be me. Whatever you're looking for, whether it's a hot tub, a downtown spot so you're in on the action, or just a giant bed you can hog all to yourself, you can find it on Booking.com. And honestly, if I can find my perfect stay, anyone can. So go find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Okay, I'm always trying to give Pinot and Ramen the very best. We all know that. The good food, the good fun toys, all the care that they deserve. And if you love your pets as much as I do, you know life can get very hectic, and Chewy makes it so easy to keep them happy and healthy. Literally everything I need, from their favorite treats to new dog beds, it all shows up right at my door so fast and hassle-free. Chewy carries over 100,000 products from all the top brands, and it's not just dogs. Cats, birds, fish, reptiles, small pets, they've literally got it all. And with summer here, fleas and ticks are really something to stay ahead of. And Chewy has vet-recommended meds, prescription meds, telehealth visits, I actually love those, and in-person vet clinics expanding nationwide. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy, and right now you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewypanions.chewy.com/offthevine. That's chewypanions.chewy.com/offthevine to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. chewypanions.chewy.com/offthevine podcast. Minimum purchase required and new customers only. Terms, conditions apply. See site for complete details. You made history in WWE too.
I did.
So, first ever women's Money in the Bank winner. What does that
Yes.
mean?
So I'm so grateful because I was in WWE at a time where the women were making all of these first. For a
Yeah,
long
I
time,
love that.
only the men were allowed
Yeah.
to have Royal Rumble matches or Money in the Bank ladder matches. And I was a part of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which it's basically like so ridiculous when you talk about it in real life. But there's a briefcase hanging above the
Yeah.
ring, and there's a contract in there. And when you win that contract, you have an opportunity at the women's title at any time you want. So you have to climb all these ladders and be the one to grab that briefcase.
Yeah.
And I was the first woman to win that match. And I'm grateful no matter what happens from here on out, I'll always be the first.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun and crazy and just a wild experience.
Would you say that was like your break in WWE, your big break was
Yeah.
when you were making history?
Yeah, for sure. Because when I went onto the main roster, basically we have what our minor leagues is called NXT.
Yeah.
And you go through there for a couple years to train and learn the business. And then I was drafted to SmackDown, and I was the very last draft pick. So I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. I had something to prove because everyone's like, oh, she's this kind of like an afterthought. She was the last person to be drafted. And so from that point on, I just felt like I really had to prove myself. And winning that match really solidified my spot in the division and kind of just catapulted the next phase of my career.
I always like hearing or not so much that I like hearing, it's fascinating to me to hear that people who go into wrestling have such a competitive spirit. They've either done competitive dancing or sports or something like that where they have that grit in them to get into that world. And I feel like you need that to
have
be there.
For sure. It's you if you don't love that business, you're never gonna last because it's such a hard business. The wrestling part is the easy part, and that's what we always say because the travel, you're on the road
Yeah.
300 days yeah. 300
Oh, yeah,
days a
it's
year. You're on the
insane.
road all the time. I'm like, wait, do I have that number right? But I do.
Which
You're
is
on the road
crazy.
52 weeks a year. There's no off season.
How does somebody maintain that? I mean, not
It's
only physically, but emotionally.
it's so hard. I look back now that my life has finally slowed down, and I'm like, what? Like, I had no time to process the last 10, 11 years of my life
Yeah.
because it was just go, go, go on to the next
They
thing.
went by so fast too
So
because you're
fast.
like you're in the moment probably when you're in that ring, but everything else is just like
It's
a
just a blur.
whirlwind.
You get to the arena, you wrestle, you get back in your car, you're driving to the hotel, you're on an airplane, you're on the road 4 or 5 nights a week. It's
And
hard.
I also saw that you were let go from that world.
So my contract expired.
Okay.
That's how I try to I'm framing it, but yeah, basically
But you're on maternity leave.
I was on maternity
Do you
leave
think that had anything to do with it?
for sure because unfortunately I got injured when I had my son. I was in the ring for 11 years. I never got hurt, and then I had my son and I got hurt.
Oh God.
I had some nerve damage on my leg from
Shoot.
pushing my son out for
Yeah.
3 hours. So it was a hard recovery postpartum, and I
Yeah.
wasn't able to get back into the ring.
Yeah, because they can't
Unfortunately.
renew your contract if you're injured, right?
I
That's
mean,
like or
they
can't
I could have maybe gone back and been
got
more of
it.
a manager or more of a speaking role and not
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah.
And I offered to do that, but unfortunately it just didn't work out that way. But ultimately it all works out the way it's supposed to. And
Yeah.
I just wasn't meant to be back there. And this is my journey now. So
Do you feel like you were given a proper explanation?
no, there was no
Aw.
explanation. The explanation was talk to legal. That was the
Really?
explanation. Yeah.
I mean, I was saying this on the last podcast with Charlotte. It's like that WWE is such a business.
It is. It is.
And that makes it a little bit hard because it's also family, it's also your life, it's almost
Your livelihood. I mean,
it's
it's everything.
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 And so to not have an explanation or like see it coming or not know that that's what was the transition like for you
It was
to
hard.
leave? Yeah.
I hadn't been there obviously for a while because I was pregnant and then I was postpartum, so it had been about a year and a half since I had been there, but I was just not expecting that. It really did come
Yeah.
out of nowhere, and it was my life for 11 years.
Yeah.
So it's still been in a process. I'm again trying to figure out what this next step looks like, and but I'm just honestly really embracing a slower pace of life. Like it was
Yeah.
so much, and I didn't realize how much it was until it started to slow down.
Yeah, because for people, like, I'm kinda similar where I'm just so I like being busy, I like
Yeah.
going, I am competitive, I like to, like, always be doing something, and what's the next thing to do in my career? And it is hard to slow down and pause and be in the moment and say, "Okay, this is a season of my life where I can enjoy slowing
Yeah.
down and not" but I find it hard. Do you find it hard to, like
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure, because
Yeah.
again, used to just go, go, go and always have somewhere to be and something to do. And it's kind of like some days I'm like, I've been in my pajamas for 3 days straight
Right.
because I'm a mom and I'm just
Yeah.
like at home doing my thing. So it's definitely different.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's almost like I'm forced to slow down and enjoy this phase. And
Mhm.
I know come a time when things get busy again. And
Yeah. Would you ever go back to wrestling?
everyone always asks that.
I bet.
I think eventually I would,
Yeah.
not full time. There's
Mm.
no way I'd ever go back into that full time schedule. It was so much, but I might go back for like a little run or
Yeah, a
something.
little cameo?
Yeah, a little cameo.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually.
How did you feel about the fans? Because they are so invested and dedicated, and they know everything about everything.
They're insane. Like
Yeah.
in the best way possible.
Yeah.
We have the best fan base in WWE. Wrestling fans are so hardcore. They're so ride or die. And I'm so grateful for them. Even now, like
Yeah.
post WWE, the fans that are still supporting me, they're just the best.
Well, I mean, they're part of why you have the platform that you have, and
Exactly.
then so you
Exactly.
probably still get recognized for that all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's great. I just feel like obviously it's something that I can't escape sometimes. It's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's Carmella." I'm like, "I'm not
Yeah.
Carmella, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Leah,"
yeah.
and, like, it's just not who I am anymore, but it's so weird to not be Carmella,
Right.
but
Because you almost have
also
to, like, grieve her.
for sure. I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of I'm almost out of that grieving phase, I
Yeah.
think,
What phase you in, the angry one? I feel like we all go through the grieving phases of, like but yeah, that's a crazy thought to think that you have to grieve, like, who you are as a
Yeah,
character.
yeah, because
That was your
I
career.
created her.
Yeah.
She was like she was me.
Yeah,
She's
you
part of
birthed
me.
her. That was
Yes.
your baby.
She was my first child.
Yeah, she was. Truly. I think that's I mean, and speaking of having children, I feel like, from the outside, motherhood always looks so beautiful to so many people, and we see it on social social media, but I like that you've been real about the hard parts too, especially physically. I feel like your first pregnancy you said was not easy. Obviously, you got injured with that. What were the biggest challenges you faced going through postpartum?
So my first pregnancy was amazing. Like I loved being pregnant.
Yeah.
Everything was great. And then I had my son and I was in labor for 3 days. It was so difficult.
Days?
It was girl what it was awful. Like literally
Wow.
I have videos. I made my mom take a video of me saying like, "Never let me do this again. I'm
Yeah.
never having another kid because
And
it's
here
the
we
most
are.
miserable." And
Yeah.
then here we are.
Yeah.
But it was so hard. But having that injury postpartum was difficult. I had postpartum depression, postpartum rage, which I didn't even know was a thing, which is basically me hating my husband for no reason. Like he would walk into the room and I would be like, "Ew, get
You're
away
like,
from me."
why are you
Like,
breathing?
yeah, what are you doing?
But that is such a real thing.
It is. It is.
I don't know because I've never had a baby, but tell me if you know anybody who has not experienced that. And if they haven't, is it just because they're not talking about it? Because I find from what I know of childbirth, my best friends have all done it, my sister, and what I've seen and what I know is that you're in such a different state of mind of like depleted. Like you don't have the nutrients that your body needs. You're giving all your nutrients. You're not sleeping. Your body's gone through trauma. You're trying to take care of this new precious life that you have birthed and I love men, but they're useless
Useless.
in that time and they know they're useless and their brains don't work like ours. So then you go, why can't you see what I'm seeing and why aren't you doing? And it's got to create some resentment that takes time to get over. Plus, you're in a different whole state of mind with hormones.
Literally, like
So,
you nailed it. Like hit the
yeah.
nail on the head. It's so accurate and it's such a mind warp to be in. And I feel like I look back and I wish I could give the version of myself before I had my son like a hug and be like, "You're gonna be okay,"
Yeah.
because it rocks your world going from no kids to one kid. Like I just felt like my life was turned upside
Yeah.
down.
Mhm.
And
It's all
that's
new.
okay.
Yeah.
Like it's okay now. I look back, I'm like, but I felt so guilty at the time being like, well, I miss my old life. I miss not having any, or I miss having time for myself. I miss doing anything that's not just taking care of this new child.
Mhm.
And I feel like I felt such shame because I felt that.
Yeah, of
But
course, because
looking,
then you'd have to God, we feel so many different things at
ugh,
once, don't
it's
we?
so
You're
annoying.
like you're like, "How lucky am I? How beautiful is this? How hard is this? How miserable is this? Poor people who can't do it. Where do
Exactly.
I find the community that has?" Like, every experience is so different. Like, you feel a million different emotions at once, and we're not supposed to be overwhelmed?
No, you're just supposed to be happy and grateful and perfect.
No, I'm
It's so annoying,
do
but
you like having a platform to be, like, more raw and honest and open about these kinds of things, or do you find, like, it's challenging because you feel a responsibility and people have things to say?
both.
Yeah, fair enough.
Both.
Yeah.
I feel like having the platform that I do is why I had 2 miscarriages prior to my
Oh,
first
I'm
son.
sorry, yeah.
So I felt called to
Mhm.
talk about that because I do have a platform and I didn't wanna just act like life is perfect and like, "Look how cute I am on Instagram,"
Yeah.
when really I just lost 2 babies and
Yeah.
I just felt like I needed to talk about
Yeah.
it. So then when I did, the floodgates kind of opened. A lot of women reached out to me and said they went through the same thing, but they never told anybody. And so it really started a conversation, and I
Mhm.
feel grateful that I know why I went through that because now I can at least talk to other women and help other women and
Right.
be more open and honest in this world that is so not real on social media.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to navigate, and, I mean, going through what you've gone through, then to be pregnant and be grateful and love being pregnant, but then what is drop foot?
That's what I got when I had my son.
So you
So
got it from pushing?
pushing. I was pushing for like 3 hours. I had been at that point, it was my 3rd day in the hospital, and I got what's called deep fibular nerve damage. So
Mm,
this nerve behind my right knee was compressed for so long that it affected the way the muscle lifts your
mhm,
foot when you walk.
mhm.
So I was basically dragging my foot for months after I had my son, and I got what's called drop foot.
Wow.
So again, something nobody talks about. People
I've
just
never
see
even heard of it.
me neither. Not
Yeah.
until I had a baby, and I'm like, I wrestled for 11 years. I never got hurt, and then here I
Right.
am getting hurt having a
Yeah, you
baby.
probably
Like
went in being
what?
like, "I can do anything,"
Yeah,
and then you get that.
literally.
Yeah.
And it was
How long did
just
that last?
honestly, up until the beginning of this year, I was still dealing with it. And at this point, I still can't really like run properly. It's supposed to heal on its
Mhm,
own, but
mhm.
it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, and I feel like that's something so unexpected, which, again, you're like, "Nobody talks about it." What are more unexpected things that people go
Oh
through
my
that you would have
gosh.
wished somebody said to you? Because again, you don't want to scare people that.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't want to, like, I know that whole chaperone had, like, that whole thing where she's like, all my friends are miserable who have kids. And, like,
I
I'm
saw
not
that.
trying to scare anyone, but it's so amazing, but it's so hard. And it's okay to have both. Like, it's okay to be grateful to be a mom and love your kids, but still feel overwhelmed and feel.
Like my girlfriend, it's the best thing she's ever done in her life. She wouldn't take it back. And she also talks about how hard it is.
Yeah.
Why isn't it allowed to be both? It is.
You are allowed to be
Yeah.
both. Like, you can be two things at once. You can feel two opposing feelings at once, and it's okay. But again,
How do you do it though? How do you feel like being grateful, but also grieving your body or certain things that you've been through? Like, how do you just give yourself permission to feel both?
yeah, and I think having a good support system, people
Yeah.
to talk to. I have an amazing husband who lets me, like, vent to him 20 times a day about the same thing. I'm, like, constantly beating a dead horse, and he lets me.
That's
So
nice.
that's great. And I started a community called Snatch, which is a community for women to talk about all of these things and
Right.
normalize all of these things.
Okay, yeah, because I cut you off about the unexpected things.
Oh,
So you have a community that you can talk to these women about.
yeah.
How do people
So
find that?
it's on an app. It's just called, you can go on the Instagram Snatch for Her or snatch.co online, and it's a platform for women. We educate women on different things like this. I have experts like lactation consultants and postpartum experts, just really talking about all of these things that nobody talks about and normalizing it
Yeah.
and knowing it's okay. Like, going on there to, like, bitch, if you don't have a support system,
Yeah.
you can go on there and talk about your hard day or the fact that you haven't pooped in 3 days when you're pregnant,
Yeah,
or, like,
that's a real
whatever it
thing,
is.
too.
Like, there's so much that goes on that nobody talks about, and it's okay in there because it's a safe space for women to just normalize a lot of this stuff.
That's awesome. I love that you started that. Even my own Facebook group for Off the Vine, I've been like, wow, I love being a part of this family because everyone has just embraced normalizing things that we are unsure of. And they go, well, I'll go to Off the Vine Facebook group and ask a question.
Oh,
And
that's great.
there's zero judgment.
Yeah.
And it's just like the most beautiful community. And that's, that happens from you starting this for people.
Right.
And I'm sure so many people's lives have like changed like that. I know that sounds dramatic, but it probably has changed so many lives, but also like just for people to feel seen goes so
Yes.
far.
Just everyone just wants to feel seen. No matter
Yeah.
what stage of life you're in, no matter what you're going through, everyone wants to feel seen.
I think that's why there's trolls. They just
Oh,
want to feel seen.
100%. They're not getting enough
Yeah.
love,
They just
obviously.
want to be seen.
Yes. They want to be seen, and they want to be,
The herd, and they are. But
yeah.
I don't take you seriously, but I hear you.
Yes, for sure.
But that's how do you I was thinking about this with somebody said something terrible in my Off the Vine group one day, and I was like, how'd you get in here? Do you ever get scared, or like do you have someone monitoring?
I monitor all of
Okay,
it.
good.
Every single day I'm on there making sure, because I have to approve everyone myself.
Yeah.
Because you have to, like, put in your email address
Yeah.
or whatever it is. It's free, but I just want to make sure that people are joining are women and
Yeah.
they're not trolls. Like, sometimes a troll like sneaks in, and I'm like, oh my God, it stresses me out.
No, it's actually scary who can get in there because you're like,
Totally.
what are your intentions
Right.
with my page?
And we all know what the intentions are.
Well, especially as a mom, you're like, dads are like, what are your intentions with my daughter? You're like,
Oh my God, I know.
Okay, are you ready for a home that smells like you? Do you know that? Like when you go into somebody's house and you're like, oh, that's just your smell. So meet Pura, the premium smart home fragrance diffuser, easily controlled from an app. You schedule, swap, adjust scent, intensity, anytime, anywhere. This week only, subscribe to 2 premium fragrances per month for 12 months, and we're going to send you a Pura Plus starter set free. So that's a $70 value. Supplies are limited, so head over to Pura.com now and grab your free set before the offer ends. I have these all over my house. I'm obsessed.
Okay, I know I talked about this a million times, but I just keep bringing it up again because they are a sponsor and I believe in them. And my bestie Kat, who you obviously hear me talk about all the time, works at a skincare clinic, Indy, and she loves her Figs scrubs. She is on her feet all day. She's doing the absolute most and still manages to look chic and cute while doing it. I'll never forget the first time when she walked in wearing a new Fig set, and I was like, wait, are those scrubs? Because I want a pair. They were sleek, tailored, and honestly looked like a matching little set from like a high-end athleisure brand. And if you're in healthcare, God bless you. Thank you for what you do. And you already know that Figs is the GOAT. But if you don't, these scrubs are built for the real MVPs. They're breathable, lightweight, stretchy, antimicrobial, basically designed to keep up with 12-hour shifts, nonstop patients, and everything in between. The fit is chef's kiss. These are not stiff, boxy scrubs of the past. Figs come in the cutest colors and styles with pockets. Who doesn't love pockets? Zippers and thoughtful details that actually make sense for your job. So whether you're in the ER, at the clinic, or grabbing a coffee post shift, do it in Figs. Right now, if you go to wearfigs.com and use the code FIGSRX, you can get 15% off your first order. That's wearfigs.com, promo code FIGSRX. Now that you're pregnant again, how are you feeling this time? Like, how is pregnancy different for you this time, like mentally and physically?
It's honestly been awful. Like,
Oh,
so
no!
awful. I hate it. I hate being pregnant this time. I
And you loved
my
it last
first
time.
I loved it. But this time it's just been so miserable. I'm like, get this baby out of me.
Do you know
I
what you're
just-
having?
Yes, a boy.
Oh, a boy. Usually it's a girl that makes
I
you feel
know.
like shit.
I know. I thought for sure it would be a girl just because of how awful I felt.
Yeah.
But
Was your first one a boy?
yes.
Yeah.
And they're both so completely different. Again,
Interesting.
something nobody talks about. Like, every pregnancy is so different. Every postpartum experience is so different, even with the same person.
Yeah.
So I was not expecting to feel like this. It's just been so miserable, honestly.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How far along are you?
Sugarcoating it. I'm 28 weeks.
20.
So I'm like towards the end.
Oh,
I'm getting
yeah.
towards the end. So it's like I'm talking to my midwife. I'm like, why do I still feel like shit? Like,
That's
I'm
I
supposed
was
to be
gonna say,
glowing and
maybe
living
you
my
were
best
like
life right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's tricky.
Miserable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it is what it is.
yeah,
Again.
sure, but it's allowed to be both, as we keep
Exactly.
saying.
That's what I'm telling myself.
It's so. What makes it miserable? Like you feel like shit.
Nauseous all the time. I can't eat. I have no appetite. I am still getting sick and like throwing up and just like what is happening?
Oh,
I've never
no.
got sick with my first son. And it's just, yeah, it's been miserable. But a lot of people say, including because I've been going to my midwife, I'm like, can you run my blood work?
Yeah,
Like, what is wrong with me? Something has to be off. And
Right.
she's like, you have a toddler. And I'm like,
What do you mean? Like, because
like,
you have one at home?
Yes.
So it's because you're not able to like get the
Like,
rest and
yeah.
lay down when you want to. You're
Yeah.
still going, oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
That's great.
But you're also a stepmom.
I am a stepmom.
And I know a lot of listeners have blended families too. There's so many out there and they're so beautiful. What has that journey been like for you to blend a family?
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it really has. In the beginning, I was trying to figure out where I fit in. What is
Yeah.
my role? I didn't want to act like I'm coming in like I'm your new mom, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, love me. Here we go. So it was just like a slow build and
Mhm.
really just trying to figure out where I fit in and what my role was.
Yeah.
And there's no rule books. I'm really proud of my husband and I for how we handled it and how we navigated. And we just have kind of handled it, I think, to the best of our ability. And we have a great blended family. And I love those kids so much.
How long have you two been together?
6 years.
6 years.
Mhm.
How old are his kids?
17, 15, and 11.
Wow.
So we have like
Oh,
all
they
of,
probably
like, the
love
huge
like that
range.
you're pregnant and having
They're
a
the
new
best. And
Yeah.
my stepson's 17. He could care less. He has a girlfriend
Yeah.
and a job and a
Yeah, yeah.
car. So he could care less. But my stepdaughters are amazing and they love my son. And my son's obsessed with them. So
Yeah. What are like the challenging parts of being a step parent?
I think, and I say this to my husband all the time, like the most difficult part for me is having a say, but like not having it really matter, right?
Mm.
So like I can give him my opinion, but at the end of the day, him and his ex-wife are the ones that have the say, that they're
Right.
the parents, right? And a lot
Right.
of times I'm like, oh, I just don't like that this is happening, or like, should we do this? And it's like, well, I don't really have a say. Like my youngest stepdaughter, she got a phone when she was 9, and I'm like, I would never allow that. But
Oh,
like
that would be
I
so hard.
can't.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do about? Like
Right.
I told my husband several times, like, why does she have to have a phone? But
Yeah. So how do you and your husband navigate those kinds of conversations?
I give my piece and I say, and a lot of times he's really good with listening to my opinion and
That's all that matters.
taking it into, he's not like, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. They're not your kids. Like it's never like that. So
Good.
I'm so grateful that he is open to my opinion.
Mhm.
But again, sometimes it only counts for so much.
Yeah. Are you guys in therapy? Because I love
Oh
therapy.
yeah, we're in
Okay, good.
therapy. Yes,
I
we
love
are in therapy, and it's the best thing.
Isn't it
Like
the best?
the best.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone should be in therapy. Everyone should be in couples therapy. If we didn't have couples therapy, I don't know. I mean, it's just helped so much. So much.
Yeah. I mean,
And you don't need to be on the brink of a divorce to be in therapy. Like I think everyone can
No.
be in therapy.
it can. I was talking about this the other day with somebody. I think it was yesterday. Maintenance sex,
Oh,
maintenance therapy, maintenance
Mhm.
sex. We don't make those things look sexy in the movies. We don't
Right.
talk about them. It's like, oh, you don't. It's an effort. It's putting in something that you don't always want to do.
Right.
That is for the health. Like I'm not saying go have sex when you don't want to, or if you have
Right.
trauma, or like, what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you are in a healthy marriage and like nobody talks about the maintenance of it.
Right. Well, if you want to be good at baseball, you're not just going to
Right.
like show up to a game every now and then. You're going to go to the practices. You're
Yeah.
going to put in the work. And that's what marriage is. And
Yeah.
that's what working on yourself,
It's a commitment.
all of it is. You have to work on yourself.
It's literally a choice and a commitment, and it's not, this beautiful, easy,
No.
loving thing.
No,
Relationships are so
not
much,
at all.
so much work. You have to want to do the work with
Yes,
somebody.
for sure.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. When life gets messy, who are you going to turn to? Your friends, the group chat, random strangers online. I've definitely tried all of this. But here's the thing, talking to a licensed therapist is completely different. They're trained to guide you through stuff that friends, advice forums, and Google just really can't. Personally, therapy has completely shifted how I handle things, and BetterHelp has been helping people connect with the right therapist for over 10 years, and with a 4.9 rating from 1.7 million session reviews, it's pretty clear that they're doing something right. The process is simple. Fill out a quick questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if it's not a perfect fit, you can switch anytime. Now, with more than 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, and sessions are fully online, flexible, and fit around your schedule. It's therapy that works with your life, not the other way around. And as the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. So find the one with BetterHelp. Off the Vine listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Vine. That's betterhelp.com/Vine. Let's talk about balance for a second, because business, marriage, pregnancy, step parenting, still being you, rebuilding yourself after WWE, having this online platform. How are you? I don't think balance really exists, to be honest with you, and whoever has found it, tell me everything. But like, how do you attempt to balance this life?
I don't. I really
Yeah.
don't. Like, even hearing you say it out loud, it's exhausting.
Yeah, you took a big breath. I was
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
wait,
shit.
it's true. Like, this is why I'm so tired. But I feel like I'm gonna contradict myself. I feel like you can have it all, but I also feel like something's always gonna suffer. Like, you can't give 100% to everything. Like, if
Yeah.
my marriage is amazing and my relationship with the kids is great, my career is probably on the back burner right now, right? And I think it's okay to
It's like a balancing, juggling act,
Yes.
which is
Which
taking
one
priority.
is gonna be
Yeah.
like priority right now, and
Yeah.
it's okay to have it change and have it shift. And that's just kind of like I know when my husband and I are great and my kids and I are great, then I know my career is like, oh shit, I have to hurry up and like get back onto that. And then that's good. And then like, oh, I haven't had sex with my husband in
Right.
however long because
Right.
I've been so busy on this and I'm exhausted because of it.
That's a whole
And
schedule.
it really is. It's trying. So like, yes, you can have it all, but not everything is going to be flourishing all the
Plus,
time.
you have to know what phase you're in of your cycle
Oh
at
my
certain
God,
times, and now
yes.
you're pregnant, and like, God. So
Exactly.
I'm going backwards for a second to Snatch, because the name is cheeky and bold, and I love
For sure.
that. What does Snatch mean to you?
Like the business or the name? Like Snatch
Both.
is Snatch. And the best part is when people are like, especially the trolls, are like, do you know what Snatch means? I'm like, obviously. That is the
What is
whole
Snatch?
point.
Vagina?
Vagina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Snatch,
great.
right?
Yeah, do you have one? You can be a part of this.
Yeah,
team.
you don't have one, so you get to shut up, or you don't
Yeah,
get to say.
yeah.
But that's the whole point. Get people talking,
Yeah.
let it be like a little in your face,
Yeah.
again, a little cheeky.
Yeah.
But that's what Snatch is. It's just about being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, because there's such a gap in the wellness space. Everybody's so obsessed with wellness and what we do for what wellness looks like. And it's like putting on a face mask and like getting like, but wellness, that, like I said, there's this gap, especially for moms, I would say, of what wellness might look like. So it's cool that you have this community to be like that is, to me, that's wellness, is giving back
For sure.
and having a community and having this group of women who can come together and talk and share their struggles or their ups and their downs, and like find other people who are going through what they do, feeling less alone, feeling
And just
seen.
being educated on our own bodies as well. I was dying because I saw one of your interviews you did recently with Jessie from Secret Lives and Mormon
Yeah.
Wives, and she was talking about her labiaplasty. And I was reading the comments, and so many women are like, oh, well, she's screwed when she goes through menopause. And I'm like, wait, what? Apparently your vagina shrinks when you
It does?
go through menopause? That's what so many of the comments were on that video you posted. And I'm like, I'm a woman, and I feel like I'm very educated. I'm trying to learn more and more about
Yeah, you
my
probably
body
need to
and every-
study the vagina. If
And
your
I'm like,
name's going
how
to be
does-
Snatch, we got to
how
learn
does
all
the-
about the
How
vagina.
does the vagina shrink? I didn't know that happened.
I didn't know that happened either.
You're a woman. I'm a woman. Did
is
you know
how-
that happened? I'm like, yeah, like
This is where I use Chat GPT.
like your vagina apparently shrinks when you
your
go through menopause.
vagina shrink when you go through menopause. I should have just asked my mom. We're so open like that.
Well, like maybe she doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Like
Let's see. Great question. And you're not alone in wondering about this. Here's the honest answer. When you go through menopause, your estrogen levels drop. Estrogen is important for keeping the vagina. Kaitlyn, learn how to read. Vaginal tissues thick, elastic, and well lubricated. Without it, the vaginal walls can become thinner and less stretchy. This is called vaginal atrophy. Atrophy. Thank you. Can't read. So the opening of the vagina may feel tighter and the canal itself may be shorter or narrower, so it can feel like it's shrinking. Huh.
That's
So
interesting.
technically the vagina itself doesn't shrink away, but it can lose elasticity and volume, making it smaller or tighter than before.
That's wild.
Sounds more internal though.
Yeah.
I feel like she did it externally.
Sure. But like all the comments were
So-
like, she's so screwed. I'm like, how? Why? And like, it's not even that she's screwed. Like, I don't think she needs to worry
Right,
about
yeah,
her
no.
labia at all. But I just think it's wild that that's something that so many women were commenting about that I had
No idea. Yeah.
Why don't we know this?
Again, another thing that people don't talk about
Right.
that you're like,
Why
wait,
is
we're all
always
doing
women.
it?
Like, why doesn't anything happen to men? Like, they get hotter the older they get. And
No, they literally, I just said to Connor in this last podcast, I was like, men start thriving at 40.
Yeah.
In their
It's
career,
so
in their
annoying.
looks.
My
in
husband's
their-
gone hotter since I've been with him. I'm
Oh,
like,
gosh. So did you two meet in the wrestling world?
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's next, I guess? Like, what are you, and you don't have to have an answer or a plan or anything. It's just, I'm just always curious of like, what are you going to like expand on Snatch? Are you going to like build something else? Like, do you have a plan? You don't need to.
Ish, I guess.
You don't need
I'm still growing Snatch. Like, that's
Yeah.
something I'm very passionate about. And I think we need, again, to learn more about
Yeah.
in general. So I definitely am working on that. My goal, like dream job, is to be on Broadway. I've always wanted to do that.
And do you live here?
No, I live
Oh.
in Pittsburgh, but it's close.
Oh, you're so close.
It's like a quick flight.
Yeah.
And I would definitely move here if I had to for like a role. But
Oh my
that's my
gosh.
dream. Like
Really?
always been
Do
my
you
dream
sing and
since I was a
dance?
kid.
I know you dance. Duh.
I mean, I'm not the best singer, but
Yeah,
I
but they
know
teach
that there's a lot of people who've done it and
Yeah.
don't necessarily have
Like a
the
little,
voice.
like what would your dream role be on Broadway?
Roxy Hart.
Oh, of course.
Like, and I'm saying that because my mom and my grandmother went to Chicago off Broadway when I was a kid, and they brought
That's my
home a
favorite.
tape. That's dating myself, I know.
No,
But, like they brought home a
40.
cassette tape,
Yeah.
and remember listening to it. I memorized every single word of every single song since I was like 8. So I just love that musical.
Oh my God. Same. I actually auditioned for it. Didn't
Did
get
you?
it.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah. I literally sent in a whole video of me singing, but same thing. My mom was obsessed. My mom was in musical theater her
okay.
whole life. She taught theater. She was a dancer. And so I grew up doing theater and I loved Chicago. And I used to lie to people at the bars when I was 18 years old because that was the legal age in Canada. I'd go to the bars and they'd be like, "What do you do?" I'd be like, "I'm a dancer for the musical Chicago." And I would like sing at the bar for them and
That's
like do a
amazing.
dance. I'd be like, I'd really commit to the bit because that was also my favorite and
That's
something I
amazing.
always wanted to do.
Yeah, that's just like the goal. I mean, dream world.
Yeah.
Whether that happens or not, like it is what it is. But I mean,
Well, have you
WWE was a pipe
tried?
dream and made that. No, I don't even know how. I don't
Ja-
even know how I would do it.
You just let's start looking. I mean, I can give you the contact that I had, and then be like, and then if you do get it, you can be like, now you have to have Kaitlyn because she helped me. do this.
Yes, we could be Velma and Roxy in Chicago. That would be
Except
amazing.
no, because I will not take anything other than Roxy. We
Well,
both want the
I'll
same
be
role.
your understudy.
Okay.
I will gladly be the
I'll be
backup.
your understudy. I'll be your understudy. That's so fun. Oh yeah, I bet you can. I mean, if you danced at the level that you danced,
It's been a while though. I'd have to really like break out the tap shoes or something.
I
to, like,
feel
get
like
'em.
it is and it isn't like riding a bike, but it kind of is only because your brain like can understand counts, choreography, like
Yeah.
you've just got that, and that's
fair. Yeah.
more than a lot of people
That's half the battle.
have. But
Yeah.
people who are on Broadway are just pure talent.
Oh my
It's
God.
just unbelievable.
I've seen it so many times. I've seen so many shows. I'm in awe every time I'm at a Broadway show. It's
I'm the
just
same
amazing.
way. Where can everybody find you and Snatch and all of the things?
So Snatch for her on Instagram. And then my Instagram is the Leah Van Dale, which I sound like a magician, but I My name was taken because I used to be Carmella from
Yeah.
WWE on Instagram, and then I went to go change my handle, and someone stole my name, and they won't give it to me. So
And you have I keep wanting to say Snatched. It's Snatch. Snatch.
Yes.
And it's on your Instagram where people can
yeah.
find everything. Yeah. Okay.
Everything, all the links and everything are there.
And just last thoughts. What do you want people to take away from it when they are part of Snatch?
Just to feel seen
Yeah.
and heard and know that they're not alone, no matter what it is they're going through. Because I think a lot of times when we're going through something, whatever it is in life, it feels isolating. It
Yeah.
feels like you're the only one in the world that this is happening to. And Snatch is proof that it's so many of us going through the same thing.
Well, and it's also proof that when you build like a village,
Yeah.
that an online village is definitely a thing. When you build that, it's actually proof in like people's mental health getting better.
For sure.
It actually is a real thing. So thank you for doing that. And I hope so many women that are listening who are feeling like they need to feel seen can be a part of it. And you can help them too. Because, I mean, there's just so much nastiness out there.
Oh
And
my
so many
God,
awful
yeah.
people. And I do feel like women a lot of times feel like I can do it alone. And they don't realize what toll that's taking on.
For sure.
their-
You need
yeah.
a village, whether it's one person, even on social media that you
Yeah.
can talk to. Like just one
Totally.
person makes you feel better.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having me.
You are so cute. And I can't believe you're pregnant. I can't believe that's 20, what? 9?
28.
28 weeks in there? You're so cute.